NLWN-TV now brings you the In the Dugout show. A look at today's Eau Claire Cavalier game. And now, join us in the dugout.
Hello, and welcome to today's edition of In the Dugout. Rick Olson here in the NLWN-TV studios, and we're getting ready to bring you all the action of today's Chippewa River Baseball League game as the 7-6 Eau Claire Cavaliers, who are 5-4 in the CRBL, take on the Augusta Athletics from Jan Krueger Memorial Field in Augusta. The Athletics are 1-7 in the South Division of the CRBL. Now, coming up in this edition of In the Dugout, we'll take a look at today's matchup between the Cavs and the Athletics. Then we'll get Cavalier manager Ryan Bemnister's perspective on today's game in the Ryan Bemnister Show. Following that, we'll take a quick look around the Chippewa River Baseball League to see where things stand. Also, we'll take a moment to get to know one of this season's Cavalier players in Cavalier Profile. Finally, we'll bring you all the play-by-play action of today's game from Jan Krueger Memorial Field in Augusta. So it's time to get ready for some baseball action, and we'll do just that right after this brief timeout. You're tuned to In the Dugout on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Part-time job, full-time hustle, all-time shero to all of us. You nurture, we listen. You teach, we thrive. You lift our spirits, but we've got to lay down the truth. It's time for you, our shero, to stretch for the stars. A free online chat can give you the personalized tips you need to start boosting your retirement savings today. Start saving more for retirement so you can feel prepared and live your life to the fullest. Visit aceyourretirement.org.
Welcome back to In the Dugout. Very shortly, the Eau Claire Cavaliers will face off against the Augusta Athletics from Jan Krueger Memorial Field in Augusta. The 7-6 Cavaliers, who are 5-4 in the CRBL, are coming off a 7-1 loss to the Cadott Red Sox in what was supposed to be a doubleheader. However, Mother Nature had other ideas, and the second game was rained out. Now, leading the way at the plate in that game for the Cavaliers was Caden Erickson, who went 2 for 4 with a pair of singles.
And he hits one past the shortstop out into left field for a base hit. So Erickson's 2 for 2 today.
Going 1 for 2 and scoring a run on Cole Timon's RBI base hit was Gabe O'Brien.
Here's the pitch. Line shot up the middle, base hit. Rounding third, coming in to score is Gabe O'Brien, and Timon checks in with an RBI single. And the Cavs are on the board.
Defensively, the middle infield showed signs of getting back to the quality play expected when they turned an Erickson to Boda to Kapanke double play in the second inning.
Pascal looks in and delivers. Ground ball over to second. Erickson flips to the short and over to first, and a 4-6-3 double play.
Then in the fourth inning, Cooper Kapanke showed his alertness when he doubled off Red Sox Carter Hesselman following a line drive off the bat of Henry Wilkerson.
The wind and the pitch. Line shot to Kapanke at first, throw to second, and they got him. They got him at second. So a line drive to Kapanke, and then he threw it over to Boda for the double play.
On the mound, Jalen Pascal took the loss, going 4 innings, giving up 5 runs on 3 hits, including a 2-run home run by Henry Wilkerson, and walking 4. Jake Fisher finished the game throwing 2 2/3 scoreless innings. Today, the Cavaliers travel to Augusta to take on the Augusta Athletics. The Athletics return to the Chippewa River Baseball League this season, 3 years after the previous edition of the Athletics folded. They play at the newly remodeled Jan Krueger Memorial Field and are being led by Byron King and Dwayne Ives. The Athletics are coming off an 18-8 non-league win over the Abbotsford Merchants on Wednesday the 14th. Now, in that game, the Athletics were led at the plate by Cole Stenson, who went 2 for 4. In addition, Bryce Scheinman, J.J. Becker, Nolan Taylor, Aiden Rosemeyer, Brennan King, and Chase Stenson-Vienendahl used any method available, whether it be hit, walk, hit by the pitch, or error, to get on base and produce 8 runs in the 6th inning. Now, some of the leaders on the mound for the Athletics include Ashton Oliver, who was credited with the win over Abbotsford, as well as Nolan Taylor and Cole Stenson. The Cavaliers are looking to break out of a funk which has been nagging them for 5 of their last 6 games. So far this season, leading the way for the Cavaliers at the plate is Cooper Kapanke, who's batting at a .500 pace and has driven an 11 RBI. Coming in with a .483 batting average is Gabe O'Brien, who has 5 doubles and 2 home runs to lead the Cavs in extra bases. Campbell Kapanke is batting .341 and is right behind O'Brien with extra base hits, hitting 5 doubles and a triple, while Caden Erickson continues his hot hitting by batting .357 and is leading the team in runs scored with 15. Xavier Benister at .333 rounds out the Cavaliers, hitting .300 or better. On the mound, the Cavaliers are being led by Lucas Costley. He's posted a 3-0 record with a 3.42 ERA and has struck out 28 in his 26 1/3 innings pitched, including 2 complete games. He was slated to pitch the second game of last Sunday's doubleheader and had just started facing 2 batters when the rains came and washed the game away. Andrew Milner has a 3.38 ERA with a 1-2 record, and Drew Wathke comes out of the bullpen with an ERA of 4.91 in 7 1/3 innings pitched. Now, as a staff, the Cavaliers have a combined ERA of 4.46 with a whip of 1.80. Now, coming up next, following this timeout, we'll get manager Ryan Bemnister's perspective as we chat with him on The Ryan Bemnister Show. You're tuned to In the Dugout on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Let NLWN-2 and the Northern Light Webcasting Network bring you some tough semi-pro gridiron action. Our next broadcast will be on Saturday, June 24th, when we will bring you the Eau Claire Cowboys taking on the Midwestern Wildcats from Simpson Field on the UW Eau Claire campus. Live coverage on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and on NLWN-2 begins with Cowboy Kickoff at 2:30 p.m. That's live Eau Claire Cowboy football on Saturday, June 24th on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-2.
The Goat Coffee House on Water Street in Eau Claire presents The Ryan Bemnister Show, where Cavalier manager Ryan Bemnister gives us his perspective on today's game. And now, The Ryan Bemnister Show.
Once again, we're at the Goat Coffee House with Cavalier manager Ryan Bemnister. And Ryan, today the Cavaliers are going to see if they can't find a way to break out of that funk that's kind of been plaguing them over the past 6 games. But before we get to that, we need to look back on Sunday where the Cavaliers were defeated by the Red Sox from Cadott 7-1. Your comments about that game?
Well, we didn't get a real solid pitching performance on our end. We walked a lot of guys, hit a few guys, ran into some good pitching, which we've run into all year long. And the guys just couldn't get any hits together at all in that first game. Unfortunately, the second game was rained out. You know, I had the feeling the guys were going to turn it around there. But, yeah, I don't know how many, I can't even remember how many hits we ended up with. It was just a blur of a day because of how annoying it was.
Annoying, that's a good word for it. Now, in that game, as you mentioned, that was supposed to be part of a doubleheader, but then, of course, the rains came and Game 2 was rained out. Any word on the makeup for Game 2?
I have an email into the city right now. We'll find out hopefully today.
Okay. So in that game, in the bottom half of the batting order, they accounted for 7 of the 9 strikeouts the Cavaliers had. Now, our broadcast partner Dan has wondered several times and mentioned it during games if the Cavs simply aren't seeing the ball real well. Your thoughts about that?
Well, again, I think those guys are still pressing a little bit. And unfortunately, you need to bat 9 guys to play a baseball game. So those guys are going to have to break out of it sooner or later. We're going to hit the cage a couple times this week because we get a little bit of a break. We just have the one game tonight and the one game on Sunday, so it's a little bit more relaxed this week. Hopefully that kind of helps them out a little bit, gets them refocused and stuff. And we just need to have I was talking to a couple of my other coaches, and we just need to have a little bit more drive and desire to win. And we're seeing that from about half the team, and I think we need to see it from everybody else. It's not just to show up to the park and let's have some fun. Let's show up to the park and win a game.
Now, in that game, the Cavalier pitching staff, they're relatively young, and it appears as though overall they can be going great guns until something unfortunate happens, and then that event seems to get into their heads and they struggle a little bit. An example on Sunday was when Jalen Pascal hit a batter, and then the next batter hit a 2-run home run. And after that point, Jalen seemed to be able to struggle with the strike zone, almost like he was too concerned about making another mistake. Now, is this some of the growing pains that these pitchers are just going to have to work their way through?
I believe so. As far as pitchers go, it's a big mental game for those guys out there, and they need to know mistakes happen. You're going to give up hits, you're going to give up home runs, you're going to give up runs, and you just got to learn how to come back from that and continue to throw well and give your team a chance to stay in the game. These guys are just going to have to learn it. You can't really teach the mental side of baseball. They're just going to have to figure it out. You can coax them along a little bit, give them some advice here and there, but all in all, when they're out there on the mound, it's the loneliest place in the world, and they're going to have to find a way to fight through it and get better from it.
Now, in spite of Wednesday's loss, the Cavaliers are still able to hang on to third place in the CRBL South, although they're currently tied with the Eau Claire Bears. And today the Cavaliers have an opportunity to break out of that funk against the Augusta Athletics. What can you tell us about the Athletics?
It's first year back for those guys in a couple of years. I know that. I know they got a couple of local talented guys from Regis and Augusta and stuff like that, so they're going to be a tough young team. I'm not sure how big their roster is. I mean, being a new team into the league again, reforming, I should say. Augusta is one of the oldest teams, but they were out of the league for a few years. That's probably not the biggest roster, so we'll just approach it like any other game. We'll expect to see their best, get their best performance out of their hitters, and hopefully we can just shut them down and get a win.
And maybe cluster some hits together and put some runs across the plate, especially early in the game. And the other thing that I've kind of noticed about the Cavalier pitching is that they're effective first time through the order. And then it seems to be, and that's usually falls somewhere in the third or fourth inning, they hit that second time through the lineup. Do the Cavs need to adjust their pitching in some way so that the second time around opponents don't have that kind of success?
Yeah, I mean, a perfect example is looking at a couple of guys that have been with the team for a few years. Lucas Costley, Jackson Vance, those guys that have pitched before. If you notice, they don't struggle as much through that third part of the lineup and stuff. It's the younger guys that are struggling just a little bit, 3 or 4 of them in particular. And I think we're going to kind of change things up a little bit going forward for the next 5 or 6 games, and it's going to be more. You're going to see more senior leadership on the mound going forward here, and those guys that a little bit younger, maybe they can just learn a little bit, and they'll come along with the older guys.
Well, who's getting the call to the mound tonight for the Cavaliers?
Lucas Costley. He didn't pitch on Sunday.
Yeah, other than 2 batters, and that doesn't really count. That's just a warm-up session for him.
So his arm's pretty good. It's a 9-inning game. We're going to see how long we can stretch him out there. We got basically everybody will be fresh outside of probably Jalen. And Milner had a little tweak in his arm. I think he'll be okay. But outside of those guys, we should have everybody fresh and ready to go. So we're going to lead with Lucas and put everything on his shoulders again to kind of give us another win. I think he's got 3 wins on the season already for us. So, I mean, you got to put the ball on the people that are most dependable, and he's the one.
Any changes coming to the batting order to maybe get some get some regular hits down in that lower part?
Yeah, well, we're gonna get one of our bats that's more consistent. Xavier's gonna be back, so that'll help with that bottom half of the order where we've been batting him in, and which extends that lineup a little bit. Cole's been hitting a little bit better as of lately, so that'll help. Maybe it'll just be 3 guys that we got to worry about instead of 4 or 5, because we'll be able to run that 1 through 6 pretty solid. It's going to be pretty much the same 1 through 6 that we've been having now that we have everybody back. I might switch some things up. I tried a couple different things with the DH and a couple things on Sunday, and it didn't seem to work the best. We'll see if maybe I throw another little curveball at the guys and see if that'll wake them up a little bit.
Well, Ryan, good luck on tonight's game. Hopefully the Cavaliers can turn things around and get back to winning.
Hope so.
You've been tuned to the Ryan Bempnister Show presented by the Goat Coffee House on Water Street in Eau Claire, with Cavalier manager Ryan Bempnister's outlook on today's game. Stay tuned. More of In the Dugout is coming right up.
Honey, the kids are antsy. What can we do that will keep all of us entertained and won't break the bank?
How about we take them to the Cavaliers game? Tickets are inexpensive, there's popcorn, hot dogs, and other baseball treats, and great baseball action.
That's right, Eau Claire Cavalier Baseball, your best choice for affordable family entertainment. Check out the schedule at www.eauclaircavaliers.org.
Welcome back to In the Dugout as we're getting ready to bring you all the action of today's matchup between the Eau Claire Cavaliers and the Augusta Athletics. The Cavaliers are coming off a 7-1 loss to the Cadott Red Sox last Sunday, while the Athletics are coming off an 18-8 win in a non-league game over the Abbotsford Merchants last Wednesday. In other CRBL action on Sunday, the Tilden Tigers took 2 from the Eau Claire Rivermen by scores of 5-3 and 6-3, and the Chippewa Falls Lumberjacks defeated the Bloomer Woodticks 15-6. That leaves the league standings coming into today as follows. In the North, the 12-2 Tilden Tigers have a 4-game lead over the 6-4 Cadott Red Sox. Meanwhile, the Jim Falls Sturgeons at 4-6 are 6 games back, and the Bloomer Woodticks at 3-7 are 7 back, while the 3-8 Chippewa Falls Lumberjacks are 7.5 games behind. In the South, the unbeaten at 10-0 Osseo Merchants hold a 4-game lead over the 6-4 Eau Claire Rivermen. Tied for third place at 5-4 are the Eau Claire Bears and the Eau Claire Cavaliers, 4.5 games off the pace, while the Augusta Athletics and the Beef River Bullfrogs are 8 and 9.5 games back respectively. Now, in addition to the Cavaliers taking on the Athletics today, the Osseo Merchants will play host to the Beef River Bullfrogs at John Soine Field in Osseo. Now, coming up next, following this timeout, we'll get to know one of this season's Eau Claire Cavalier players on Cavalier Profile. You're tuned to In the Dugout on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Let NLWN-TV and the Northern Light Webcasting Network take you out to the ballgame. Our next broadcast will be on Sunday, June 25th, when we will bring you the Cavaliers taking on the Augusta Athletics from Carson Park. Live coverage on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and on NLWN-TV begins with the In the Dugout show at 5:30 p.m. That's live Eau Claire Cavalier Baseball on Sunday, June 25th on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Time now to get to know a Cavalier player on Cavalier Profile. We'll get to know a little better who plays on this year's Eau Claire Cavalier baseball team. And now, Cavalier Profile.
Joining us today on Cavalier Profile is Cooper Kapanke. And Cooper, can you fill us in on your role with the Cavaliers?
So hopefully this season I can be kind of that middle of the lineup guy playing first or third base and try and drive in some runs, have some extra base hits, and just produce at the plate. So
this last spring you played another season at Winona State, and it appears as though you added a little power to your swing. Can you tell us about that?
yeah, so I made a couple tweaks in my swing and put a little more weight on this year, and so I was able to find a little more power than I have in years past. That was good, able to drive in some runs and produce a little bit there. So I was pleased with how the season went and hopefully build on that for next year.
Now, what's your most memorable baseball experience? That can either be as a player or as a spectator.
I would say probably one of my most memorable baseball experiences was being able to play high school baseball with my brother for the playoffs. That was pretty cool. And yeah, I'd say just sharing the field with him.
How about filling us in a little bit about your family and who's going to be watching you at Cavalier games?
So I got a lot of family that lives in Eau Claire, actually, that they're pretty consistent with coming to the Eau Claire Cavs games. So I'd say it's usually a given every afternoon or night that I have a bunch of grandparents and parents up in the stands right behind home plate watching, so pretty special.
I seem to recall last season you also had some four-legged spectators coming along. Are they going to be there this year?
Yeah, our family has 3 dogs that are pretty loud and crazy that are usually coming to games, so you can expect to see a handful of those dogs at some games.
Now we're going to throw some rapid-fire questions at you.
Let's do it.
Pie, ice cream, cake, or cookies?
Cookies.
Which kind?
Probably sugar cookies.
Okay, frosted or unfrosted?
Frosted.
Okay. Your favorite color and why?
I'd probably say purple, probably just because my high school is purple, college is purple, and I've always just liked the color.
Okay. Now, if you could have a superpower, what would it be?
I would probably say fly or super strength.
Okay, either one of those would work, or maybe you'd have them both and you could fly like Superman did. And yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Okay, so if you have a superpower like that, you got to have a superhero name to go with it. What do you think it would be?
So if I had superhuman strength, I'd probably say my name would be like Coop Daddy or something like that.
Okay, Coop Daddy. All right. Yeah. Either that or you've got a music career ahead of you.
Something like that. It worked.
All right, your favorite Major League Baseball team as you were growing up?
Milwaukee Brewers.
And was there a Brewers player that you kind of emulated your play after?
Growing up, I was always a big Andrew McCutchen guy. Loved him, yeah.
All right, great. Your favorite TV show or movie as you were growing up?
Oh, that's a tough one. I would say, what's a good movie show? I'm blanking right now. I'd probably say like The League's good, Friends, Blue Mountain State, some of those. I'm not a huge TV watcher.
Okay, that's fine. We're talking with Cooper Kapanke on Cavalier Profile. And Cooper, when you're not playing baseball, where are we going to find you?
Probably with my buddies out on the water or just hanging out watching baseball.
And when people come to Cavalier games, where are they going to find you?
So they're going to find me playing third base or first base usually, and I'm usually pretty social, so I'll be talking to people on the fence line too. So
okay. Okay. We want to thank Cooper Kapanke for joining us today on Cavalier Profile. Coming up next, more in the dugout.
This has been Cavalier Profile, where we get to know a little better who plays on the Cavalier baseball team. Stay tuned, more in the dugout coming right up.
The Eau Claire Cavaliers would like to take veterans out to the ball game. That's right, as a thank you for your service, any veteran of the United States military can receive a lifetime pass for free admission to all Cavalier home games. Just come to Carson Park with your veteran identification, and the Cavaliers will issue you a free lifetime pass to all Cavalier home games. That's just the Cavaliers' way of saying thank you for your service.
Welcome back to In the Dugout. Today the Cavaliers face off against the Augusta Athletics. Keys to today's game, well, simply put, the Cavaliers need to break out of that funk that's been plaguing them over the last 6 games, causing them to drop 5 of those 6. Now they need to get the bats going throughout the lineup and gather more than 6 hits per game that they've been averaging over that span. In addition, the pitching needs to throw strikes and let the defense play behind them so as to stay away from the 5+ walks they've been averaging per game this season. After all, there is no defense for walks. Today, the Cavs are facing a team which is young and excited to be back in the CRBL. Even though their record doesn't show it, the Athletics are playing exciting baseball and are having fun doing it. That all means that you're about to see some great Cavalier baseball, and we'll have it all for you right here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Now, in just a moment, I'll join the rest of our broadcast crew at Jan Krueger Memorial Field in Augusta, as we'll bring you all the action of today's game between the Eau Claire Cavaliers and the Augusta Athletics. That's coming up next. You've been tuned to In the Dugout on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
You've been watching the In the Dugout show with a look at today's Eau Claire Cavalier game. This has been a presentation of NLWN-TV. Stay tuned. Coming up next is live Eau Claire Cavalier baseball. It happens to everyone eventually. Your computer goes on the fritz. Fear not, Sladen's Technology Services can help. When your computer decides to not cooperate, it can be very frustrating. Let Sladen's Technology Services keep you from wanting to drive your computer right off a cliff. Sladen's Technology Services supports business of all sizes. They offer assistance with managed anti-malware, encrypted email, fast tech support, data backup, and recovery, and more. Call Sladen's Technology Services at 715-864-2833 and get the IT help you desire. Sladen's Technology Services is the official IT service for the Northern Light Webcasting Network. Eau Claire Cavalier baseball is on the air. The Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV proudly brings you today's Eau Claire Cavalier game. Join us as we follow the Cavs while they battle their way through the Chippewa River Baseball League.
Fly ball into left field. Could it be? Could it be? Way back. Toss the fence and it's out of here. It's a 3-run home run and the Cavaliers take the lead.
And now, out to the ballpark for coverage of today's game.
There, now we have our audio set up. So welcome to Jan Krueger Field in Augusta. Rick Olson here along with Dan Petchow and Monroe on the computer, and Cassie Johnson Nelson's up on top of the trailer right behind us on the camera, going to bring us all the great views of today's game, because today we have the Cavaliers on the road taking on the Augusta Athletics. Cavs come into the game with an overall record of 7 wins and 6 losses, 5-4 in the CRBL. And the Athletics have a record of 1-7 in the CRBL. And Dan, why don't you tell us who's in this game?
Yeah, here's the starters for the Athletics. Batting first will be their center fielder, number 6, Logan Brown. Batting second will be their catcher, number 9, Ryan Stunkel. Batting third will be their third baseman, number 31, Noah Gillingham. Batting fourth will be their shortstop, number 43, Jacob Rosemeyer. Batting fifth will be their pitcher, number 29, J.J. Brecker. Batting sixth will be their designated hitter, number 14, Cole Stenson. Batting seventh will be their second baseman, number 2, Nolan Taylor. Batting eighth will be their left fielder, number 1, Aston Oliver. Batting ninth will be their right fielder, number 7, Chase Stenson Vienendahl. And pitching will be J.J. Brecker. For the Cavs, they're going to go with batting first will be their second baseman, number 6, Caden Erickson. Batting second will be the left fielder, Campbell Kapanke. Batting third will be their right fielder, Gabe O'Brien. Batting fourth will be their first baseman, Cooper Kapanke. Batting fifth will be their center fielder, Xavier Benbinster. Batting sixth will be their catcher, number 13, Connor Riley. Batting seventh will be their third baseman, Jackson Vance. Batting eighth will be their shortstop, Ben Boda. Batting ninth will be their designated hitter, Luke Erickson, with number 8, Lucas Cosley on the mound.
And Lucas comes into the game today with a 3-0 record and a 3.42 ERA. We have a couple people throwing out first pitches tonight from and I couldn't quite catch the name, a trucking company here in the Augusta area, here at Jan Krueger Memorial Field. If you've not been to Jan Krueger Memorial Field, I'll tell you what, I think Dan will vouch for me on this one. Really good hot dogs here.
Yeah, really good hot dogs. Worth the trip.
And they're getting some pictures taken, and we're going to send it over to the public address announcer for the starting lineups.
O'Reilly. Batting 7, number 5, Jay Vance. Batting 8, number 17, B. Bach. And batting 9th, number 14, L. Erickson.
What?
And now your starting lineup for Augusta Athletics. Batting first, playing center field, number 6, Logan Brown. Batting second, and catching, number 9, Ryan Stunkel. Batting third, playing third base, number 31, Noah Gillingham. Batting fourth, playing shortstop, number 43, Jacob Rosemeyer. Pitching tonight and batting fifth, number 29, J.J. Breaker. Designated hitter, number 14, Cole Stenson. Batting seventh, playing second base, number 2, Nolan Taylor. Batting eighth, playing left field, number 1, Ashton Oliver. Playing right field, batting ninth, number 7, Chase Stenson Bienendahl. The Athletics are managed by Byron King and Dwayne Ives, and of course powered by Stenson Excavating and Transport. To honor America and those defending our freedom, we ask that those who are able, please stand, remove your caps, face the flag, and join in the singing of our national anthem, performed tonight by Brayson Stenson.
That was Grace Stenson with the singing of our national anthem. And we're getting ready for some baseball here at Jan Krueger Memorial Field in Augusta. Taking a look at the field, the dimensions here at Jan Krueger Field, not a real deep field. This is a hitter's ballpark. 317 down the left field line, 360 to straightaway center field, and I just saw it. I believe it says 295. Yes, 295 is the distance down the right field line. Taking a look at the Augusta Athletics in the field, we have Stunkel behind the plate. Third base is Gillingham. Shortstop is Jacob Rosemeyer. Taylor is at second. Cody Breaker at first. J.J. Breaker on the mound. And out in the outfield, Oliver Brown and Stenson Vienendahl going from left to right. So JJJ, only two J's. J.J. Breaker is finishing up his warm-up tosses. Throw goes down to second. We're seated down the right field line, so it's a little different vantage point for us. We ought to be able to see high and low real well tonight, Dan.
Yeah, I don't think we've had a viewing spot like this before.
Yeah, it reminds me somewhat of Casper Park in Chippewa, but we're on the left field line there. So stepping up to the plate is Caden Erickson. First pitch is high for a ball.
Probably should have brought my glove.
Yeah, I think anything that's going to be a really high, straight up, straight down foul ball. Pitch is low for ball two. Erickson comes into the game batting .357. Here's the wind and the 0-2 pitch. Or the 1-2-0 pitch. And it's a called strike. Takes me an inning to get things in the right order. Yeah. And saying like your teeth. Here's the pitch. That one missed. Inside. 3 balls and 1 strike. A hitter's pitch here for Caden Erickson. And the pitch. Ground ball out towards short. Picked up by Rosemeyer. Throw over to first. And it gets past. Pass breaker at first. And Erickson gets on an error on the throw. That'll bring up Campbell Kapanke. Kapanke hitting .341.
14 hits, 8 RBIs.
Erickson takes his lead over at first. Breaker looks in for the sign and delivers. Curveball outside for a ball. Breaker at the belt. And the pitch is a ground ball over to second, and the second baseman was breaking the wrong way. Flips it to first, and it's not going to be in time. And Campbell Kapanke beats that out for an infield hit.
Yeah, it was just a slow dribbler there to the second baseman.
Problem is, Erickson had already broke for second, and the second baseman went over to cover it. And Kapanke hit it right where he was. That brings up Gabe O'Brien hitting .483. O'Brien out in right field today. High fly
That's
ball
deep.
out into center field. Moving over and making the catch is Brown.
And Erickson advances to third. So the Cavs have runners on the corners with one out. And it brings up Cooper Kapanke, leading the team in hitting, batting .500 on the season. Cooper was our Cavalier profile player today. Breaker at the belt. And the pitch. Outside, ball one. Campbell Kapanke takes his lead at first, Erickson at third. Breaker delivers, slow for a ball, and Kapanke goes down to second.
Yeah, good jump there by Campbell.
So 2 runners in scoring position with Cooper Kapanke at the plate. And the pitch. Strike called at the letters. Two balls and 1 strike. And the pitch. High pop foul out of play. And that, Dan, is why we did not park there.
Yeah, we parked quite a ways away.
Yeah, I'm not going to say it. It's just going to bring bad luck. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 on. Outside, count goes full to Cooper Kapanke. On deck, Xavier Bemnister. And the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3. 2 down now. 2 runners on. Xavier Bemnister at the plate. He's batting .333. Here's the pitch. Short fly ball right behind second base, and over to make the catch is Jacob Rosemeyer. So the Cavaliers get nothing across the plate. No runs, 1 hit. There was 1 error, and 2 were left on base. We've played a half inning, and it's the Cavaliers nothing, and the Augusta Athletics coming to bat. You're tuned to Cavalier Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
I love the pizza we get when we go to Gino's Pizza.
That's because Gino's has been voted best pizza in the Chippewa Valley 5 years in a row.
I think it's because Gino's uses the freshest ingredients, premium quality meats, cheeses, savory spices, and zesty toppings, and all served with attention to detail.
Now you're making me hungry. Let's head to Gino's Pizza.
Scott and the rest of the folks at Gino's Pizza would like to invite you to come out and try the area's best pizza. Call about Monday through Wednesday dine-in specials at 715-835-2000. That's Gino's Pizza at 5110 Fairview Drive, Eau Claire, right next to Chaos Water Park.
And we're back here in Augusta. Rick Olson along with Dan Petchow. By the way, that Gino's player of the game is Connor O'Reilly. So when you go out to Gino's tomorrow, make sure you mention Connor's name and you'll get yourself a free soft drink. And if he manages to find a way to score today, then you'll get yourself a free appetizer for your table. So leading things off for the Augusta Athletics will be Logan Brown, Ryan Stunkel, and Noah Gillingham. Today is the first of 2 in a row, only it's not a doubleheader. Cavs play the Athletics today, and then they play them again on Sunday over at Carson Park.
The Athletics will be playing the Cavs again this Sunday.
And the public address system announcer had the same idea I had.
I think it was Echo.
That must have been it, yes. Lucas Costley on the mound, 3-0 record, 3.42 earned run average, 26 and a third innings. He's given up 10 earned runs, struck out 28, and the first pitch, outside, ball 1. Jesse France behind the plate, calling balls and strikes. Keith Tompkins is out on the bases. Strike called. Counts even at 1-1. Here's the pitch. Foul ball in the dirt right behind the plate. One ball, 2 strikes. Pitch is high.
Almost chased it.
Yeah, Logan Brown had a notion that time. Counts even at 2-2. Costley almost got him to bite on that high fastball. Costley delivers. Foul tip into the glove, and that's a strikeout. 1 down. Ryan Stunkel comes to the plate. Stunkel catching for the Athletics. Was watching him a little bit during the warm-ups, Dan, and he's got a rocket arm down to second base.
Yeah, after.
First pitch misses inside for a ball.
Yeah, the Cavs tested him right away in the first inning.
Ground ball over to third, scooped. Throw over to first in time for the out. Vance over to Kapanke for the put out. That's going to bring up Noah Gillingham. Gillingham playing third base. So 2 down, nobody on. We're in the bottom of the first inning, no score. Costley looking in. And he delivers. Swing and a miss for strike 1. Fastball right at the knees. You know, Costley's fastball isn't overly fast, but it seems a lot faster because he mixes it up with a lot of other pitches. High pop up in the infield. Cooper Kapanke circling underneath, and he makes the catch. So 3 up, 3 down for the Athletics. And we have no score after 1 inning on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
The roar of our engines, the pump of our heartbeats, the pedal to our metal. The sparks that ignite us, the pistons that push us, the passions that drive us, on the roads that unite us. Napa has America's largest network of parts and care, here to be the fuel that keeps you firing on all cylinders.
Visit either of Eau Claire's 2 locally owned Napa Auto Parts stores on Highway 93 or North Claremont Avenue.
Jason, let's go see your room.
How was it? Is it good? guys. It's me, Isabella Gomez, filling in for Smokey Bear because he's got more to say than just...
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Like, if you're outside enjoying a barbecue, don't let a hamburger distract you from fire safety. Make sure you aren't dumping your hot coals or ashes onto the ground because that could start a wildfire. So take wildfire prevention seriously and let's save the world one day at a time. Juntos con Smokey Bear, podemos hacerlo. Go to smokeybear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
Back here at Jan Krueger Field in Augusta, no score after one, and up steps our Geno's player of the game, Connor O'Reilly. Again, mention Connor's name when you go out to Geno's Pizza tomorrow. Get yourself a free soft drink. And if he scores, like Jackson Vance will drive him in and score a run, it'll turn into an appetizer for your table.
Connor's batting 174.
Here's the pitch. Strike called. About mid-thigh. No balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch. Fly ball out into left field. Coming in hard is Oliver, and he makes the catch. That's going to bring up Jackson Vance, third baseman for the Cavs today.
He's batting 235.
So 1 down. J.J. Breaker. And Vance lays down a bunt on the third baseline, and they don't have a chance of getting him a bunt single.
Yeah, good bunt on the left field.
That'll bring up Ben Boda, the shortstop. You know, there's no secret. The Cavs have been struggling at the plate, and sometimes that's what it takes is a bunt single just to get things loosened up and get going. Throw over to first. Vance is back in with no trouble. I did say to Ben Boda before the game today that I had this gut feeling that some of those balls for him were going to start to fall in.
Runner goes.
And in safely at second is Jackson Vance. The pitch was outside for a ball.
Boda has 5 hits, 2 RBIs.
1 ball, no strikes. And the pitch outside. 2-0 is the count. Cavs getting into that hitter's pitch situation. Breaker looks over at second and delivers. Strike called at the letters. And a bluff throw over to second. Vance back in safely. And the pitch. Line shot to short. Vance gets back to second in time. That's going to bring up Luke Erickson, the designated hitter.
Luke comes in with a 154 average.
He's also one of those guys that's been struggling at the plate. Hit the ball hard, it's just not falling in. Check swing, strike called. No balls and 1 strike with 2 down. Runner on second. Top of the order back on deck in Caden Erickson. Vance takes his lead.
They're playing a little cat and mouse with him out there. Pitch is low in the dirt, and the runner gets to third. The catcher doesn't quite know where it is, although he sees it now. And they're going to say the ball hit.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, it must have Luke Erickson, because they sent Vance back to second. So 2 down, 2 on. Top of the order back up. Caden Erickson, he got on an error by the shortstop his first time up. Fly ball out into left field. Oliver coming on, and he makes the catch.
Wow, good catch.
Ankle high catch by Ashton Oliver. So the Cavaliers get no runs on 1 hit. There were no errors, and 2 were left on base. We played an inning and a half, and it's still no score from Augusta on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
When you have that craving for a home-cooked meal the way Mom used to make it, rest assured, you can still get that meal by going to Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax. Mom's is open daily, serving breakfast and lunch, and don't forget dinner on Friday nights with Mom's famous fish fry. The coffee is always hot, the breakfast is always delicious, and lunch will put a smile on your face and in your stomach. 225 Bremer Avenue, Colfax. Call 715-962-4617. That's Mom's Restaurant and Pub.
Hey, can you chop the pineapple? Chop the pineapple.
Nope, I'm high. How about I wash off the grapes?
Yes.
Okay.
You're already making good decisions when you're high.
I want tacos. Will you drive? I'm a little toasty.
Nope, I'm high. Let's order in.
Don't make an exception when it comes to driving. If you feel different, you drive different.
We're back in Augusta. No scores. We head to the bottom of the second inning. Due up for the Augusta Athletics. Rosemeyer, Breaker, and Stenson. Here's the wind and the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 1. Lucas Costley looks in and delivers. Fly ball out into center field. Drifting back is Bemnister, and he makes the catch. That's going to bring up the pitcher, J.J. Breaker. Here's the pitch. Strike called on the outside corner. Lucas Costley likes to pick away at the corners, and he's been pretty successful at it. Here's the pitch. That was a little low. He was trying to get that corner again. 1 ball, 1 strike. And the 1-1 pitch. High chopper to Erickson at second. Throw over to first in time. That's going to bring up designated hitter Cole Stenson. Costley looking in. And the pitch. That missed outside for a ball. And the pitch. Strike called at the belt. He just threw that one past him. And now the pitch. That's high for a ball. 2 balls, 1 strike to Cole Stenson. Here's the wind in the pitch. That's a shot out into center field. Bemnister getting back. It's just past him. Gets out by the fence. Stenson checks in at second base with a base hit.
Yeah, Bemnister was close. Just kind of maybe lost it in the sun or off his glove.
That would have been about the right position to do that. It was also well tagged and just out of his reach. It's going to bring up Nolan Taylor. Second baseman. That's the first hit of the game for the Athletics. Costley looks over at second. And the pitch. Strike called.
Stenson taking a pretty big lead at second.
Erickson playing a little cat and mouse with him. Check swing outside. Ball. And it's high for a ball. 2 balls and a strike. Costley looks over at second. Stenson with his lead. And the pitch. That's down low. Blocked nicely that time by O'Reilly. 3 balls and a strike. 2 down, runner on second. The 3-1 pitch. Strike called.
Costley
Nolan Taylor. Go ahead.
Costley working those edges.
And Taylor did not like that call. He thought he had ball 4. So the count is full. Payoff pitch. Ground ball. Foul. Down the first baseline. Count remains at 3-2. Costley looks over at second. And the payoff pitch. Swung on, foul back into the screen. And again, the count holds.
Maybe time to come with a little change up here.
Costley delivers. And that's what he came with, was a changeup. Fouled off. Taylor did a nice job of staying alive that time. He was out in front of it, but held up just enough to get a piece of it. That's a tough thing to do, too, because once you get that bat going, it's tough to pull it back. Here's the pitch. That one's low for ball 4. So 2 runners on with 2 out. Brings up the left fielder, Ashton Oliver. Left-handed hitter. Runners take their leads. Costley delivers. It's high for ball 1. And he delivers. Strike called at the belt. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 down, 2 on. Bottom of the second. Costley delivers. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. You know, one thing that I've noticed about Lucas Costley, he doesn't let something like that double shake him too much. He just goes back and fires. That one just missed inside. Counts even at 2-2.
Yeah, he has a good arsenal in his bag of tricks here.
And we have a fly ball out to center field. Bemnister makes the catch. And so, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, 2 left on. We've completed 2, and we still have no score from Augusta on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Let Menominee Eye and Optical help you see the world for the beautiful place it is. Doctors Nicholas and Marianne Comroe provide both comprehensive and emergency eye care for all, including pediatric and special needs patients. Whether it's examination for glasses to cataract and LASIK care, or diagnosis and management of macular degeneration, diabetic retinopathy, glaucoma, and so much more. In addition, Menominee Eye and Optical's experienced opticians will help guide you to the highest quality eye care for the best value. That's Menominee Eye and Optical, located at 520 Wilson Avenue in Menominee, where they specialize in quality, personalized care for you and your family.
Life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome. Prediabetes does. 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, but with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. And you can change the outcome. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test today. Go to doihaveprediabetes.org.
Back here at Jan Krueger Field in Augusta. Due up for the Cavaliers, we have Campbell Kapanke, who singled his first time up on an infield hit. Then Gabe O'Brien, and then Cooper Kapanke. Cam did a Casey Stengel thing, and they hit a line shot out into center field. He's going to take a big turn at first base and hold up there. But a good solid base hit by Cam Kapanke that time. Yeah, Kapanke's first time up, he did a Casey Stengel. Hit it where they ain't, because the second baseman had just left that spot. Gabe O'Brien at the plate. Flew out to center field. His last time up. His pitch is outside for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. And the pitch. It's in the dirt for ball 2. Kicked up a little bit of dust. Gabe O'Brien takes that out of his eye. You know, we had rain the other day on Sunday, but it's still really dry in the area, Dan.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised how well how nice the field looks.
Yeah, this field looks very nice. And that pitch missed. 3 balls, no strikes. Let's see if O'Brien's got the green light, especially with a short porch in right field. O'Brien with 2 home runs on the season so far. Breaker at the belt. And he delivers. It's in the dirt, ball 4. So Gabe O'Brien draws a walk. 2 runners on, brings up Cooper Kapanke. Cooper struck out his first time up. Breaker looks over at second. And the pitch. Grounder right back out to the mound. Turn, throws to second for 1. And the throw to first. And they say they got him. So that's a 1-4-3 double play. So 2 down. Campbell Kapanke moves over to third. And Xavier Bemnister at the plate. He popped out to short his last time up. Breaker looks in and delivers. High pop foul on the first base side, out of play. No balls and a strike. On deck, our Geno's player of the game, Connor O'Reilly.
No pressure, but I like their abs.
And a strike called at the letters. No balls, 2 strikes.
Big gap down left field.
Right down the line, yeah. Pull it right down that left field line. Here's the pitch. It's in the dirt for a ball. Stunkel blocked it. It got away from him a little ways, but not enough that Kapanke could come in and score. Breaker at the belt and the pitch. Line shot, it threw into left field. Kapanke comes in to score. Rounding first is Xavier Bemnister with an RBI single. Brings up our Geno's player of the game, Connor O'Reilly. Again, when you go out to Geno's tomorrow, mention Connor's name, get yourself a free soft drink. And if he finds a way to score, it'll become an appetizer for your table. And as Ann said a minute ago, she really likes those apps. Throw over to first and back in safely is Bemnister. Breaker looking in and delivers. Show bunt, but it's not there. Pulls back. It's a ball. 2 balls, no strikes. Breaker looks over at first. And the 2-0 pitch. That's high for ball 3. Two down. And the pitch. Strike called. 2 balls and 1 strike. I was off by a pitch a little while ago. You're supposed to watch that for me, Dan.
I was too busy watching the coach down at third base.
And heading down towards second is Bemnister, and he's in safely.
Yeah, good jump by Xavier.
3 balls and 1 strike. A hitter's pitch coming with a runner in scoring position. Breaker looks over at second. And the pitch to O'Reilly is curveball high. And Connor O'Reilly draws the walk. Cavs now have runners at first and second. Brings up Jackson Vance. He had a bunt single his first time up. And the pitch is in the dirt, blocked by Stunkel. Kept it out in front of him, kept the runners from advancing. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 down, 2 on, 1 run in. Here's the pitch. Line shot to short. Toss over to second for the out. So Vance gets the fielder's choice. And O'Reilly was out at second. So for the Cavaliers, they picked up 1 run on 2 hits. There were no errors and 2 left on. We've completed 2.5, and it's the Cavaliers 1 and the Athletics nothing. You're tuned to Cavalier Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
If your estate isn't looking quite estate-like, let Midwest Environmental Consultants landscape your estate right up to snuff with installation of retaining walls, brick patios, foundation planting beds, and so much more. Then they'll keep it that way with their expert lawn care service. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 608-468-2067. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants help make your estate the showplace of the neighborhood.
Let NLWN-2 and the Northern Light Webcasting Network bring you some tough semi-pro gridiron action. Our next broadcast will be on Saturday, June 24th, when we will bring you the Eau Claire Cowboys taking on the Midwestern Wildcats from Simpson Field on the UW Eau Claire campus. Live coverage on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and on NLWN-2 begins with Cowboy kickoff at 3:35 p.m. That's live Eau Claire Cowboy football on Saturday, June 24th on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-2.
Getting ready to go into the top half of the 3rd inning, or bottom half of the 3rd inning. Cavaliers on top, 1-0. Lucas Costley on the mound. And due up for the Athletics, Chase Stenson Vienendahl, followed by the top of the order, Logan Brown and Ryan Stunkel. And the first pitch by Costley just missed inside. 1 ball, no strikes. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Strike call. That looked like it caught the outside corner. We don't have the best view for inside-outside, but lots of times we can get a little help from the catcher. And the pitch. That missed low and away. 2 balls and a strike. And the pitch just missed the knees. 3 balls, 1 strike. Look for a fastball here, Dan. And he missed with the fastball, and
that's been just a little outside.
That's the 2nd walk given up by Costley. Back to the top of the order, Logan Brown, who struck out his first time up. Costley takes a peek over at first. And the pitch. Strike called at the letters. No balls and 1 strike. To Logan Brown, center fielder. Stenson Vienendahl leads off and a foul ball. Out of play. No balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Check swing, and it missed inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3.
Wait a second.
Well, I don't know how it's 2-2 when the first pitch was a called strike. Then he fouled 1 off, and now this is...
He didn't foul.
Oh, okay.
No,
So
yeah.
now it's 2-2. Logan Brown. Nobody out. Runner on first. Costley's 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Just threw the fastball right past him. Brings up Ryan Stunkel, the catcher. Grounded to third his first time up. Costley looking in. Peeks at first and delivers. Strike called at the knees. No balls and 1 strike. 1 down, 1 on. Cavs up 1-0. And the pitch. That's high for a ball.
Stenson takes a short lead at first.
Costley looking in. And he delivers. That just missed. 2 balls, 1 strike. Costley delivers. We have a fly ball out into center field. Bemnister makes the catch. 2 down. That's going to bring up Noah Gillingham, who popped to first his last time up. Other CRBL action tonight. After 2 innings, it's the Osseo Merchants leading the Beef River Bullfrogs 2-0. Costley looking over at first and now delivers. Strike called to Gillingham. 2 down, a runner on first. We're in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Cavs are on top, 1-0. Costley fires. And a called strike at the waist. Throw over to first, and back in safely is Stenson Vienendahl. They almost got him caught off. Connor O'Reilly chased him down. He got back to first. O'Reilly did the right thing, made sure he didn't advance. It's one of those, if he throws it behind him, he's going to make it to second. So he chases and makes him commit one way or the other. And he got back in time. No balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Chop foul at the plate. Count holds at 0-2. Little conference going on with the third base coach. This is a time where Costley oftentimes comes with the high fastball, tries to get him to chase it just out of the zone. He's at the belt. And the pitch. Missed outside. It was about letter high, just off the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Costley looking in and delivers. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Strikeout number 3 on the game for Lucas Costley, and
The Athletics go down in the third with no runs, no hits, no errors, and one man left on base. So we've completed 3 on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Royal Credit Union's low rates and flexible terms on auto loans can help keep your payments low. Get a great rate on your next car or truck purchase, or refinance an existing vehicle with an auto loan from Royal Credit Union. Royal also offers loans for buying or refinancing boats, UTVs, and other vehicles. Royal Credit Union wants to help keep your payments low. Check rates and apply for a Royal Credit Union vehicle loan online at rcu.org/autorate. Subject to credit approval.
If I could be you, and you could be me for just 1 hour. If we could find a way to get inside each other's minds. Walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes. Well, before you abuse, criticize, and accuse. Walk a mile in my shoes.
And we're back here, and that's the way to watch a ball game, out in center field with your cooler of brews, on the lawn chairs, enjoying the sunshine as the Cavaliers come up in the 4th inning. Leading off is Ben Boda. He lined to short his last time up. Here's the pitch. Line shot down the third base line, fair ball. It's going to roll over into the corner. Ben Boda heading over to second with a double. Boda! That brings up Luke Erickson. Luke got on base last time up when he was hit by the pitch. So maybe Ben Boda's going to believe me now when I tell him I had a gut feeling his balls were going to start to fall in. Breaker delivers, foul ball, first base side, moving over and making the catch is Cody Breaker. Takes us back to the top of the order, and Caden Erickson. Erickson 0 for 2. Got on an error and then flew out to left. He's hit the ball hard both times up. Here's the pitch. Missed inside for a ball. One ball, no strikes. Erickson digs back in. Breaker looks over at second, and the 1-0 pitch. Strike called on the outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 on, 1-0. The Cavaliers on top. Now Stunkel wants to go out and talk to Breaker. My suspicion is that maybe they're talking about a signal that Stunkel can give him if Ben Boda's taking too big of a lead, he can fire it down to second. Oda takes his lead at second. Taylor moving over behind. Fly ball out into left center field. Moving over under it is Oliver, and he makes the catch. That's going to bring up Campbell Kapanke with 2 down. And Kapanke is 2 for 2. Got an infield single and then a sharp single to center field. Scored a run after that single to center field. Here's the pitch. Strike called at the letters. Curveball caught the outside edge. Breaker looks over at second and delivers. Line shot right at the shortstop. Jacob Rosemeyer. And that's the 3rd out of the inning. So for the Cavaliers, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We've completed 3.5, and it's the Cavaliers 1 and the Athletics nothing. You're tuned to Cavalier Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Let NLWN-TV and the Northern Light Webcasting Network take you out to the ballgame. Our next broadcast will be on Sunday, June 25th, when we will bring you the Cavaliers taking on the Augusta Athletics from Carson Park. Live coverage on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and on NLWN-TV begins with the In the Dugout show at 5:30 p.m. That's live Eau Claire Cavalier baseball on Sunday, June 25th on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
If I could be you, and you could be me for just 1 hour. If we could find a way to get inside each other's minds. Walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes. Well, before you abuse, criticize, and accuse. Walk a mile in my shoes.
Heading into the bottom of the inning.
Back here at Jan Krueger Memorial Field in Augusta, Rick Olson along with Dan Petchow, Ann Monroe on the computer, Cassie Johnson Nelson on the camera. Little different view of the game today. And we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Cavs up on top 1-0. Jacob Rosemeyer made that nice snag at shortstop to end the last half inning. And he chops the first pitch foul. Rosemeyer flew out to center field his last time up. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Costley ahead, 0-2. He delivers to Rosemeyer. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Pulled the string on that. Rosemeyer was a little bit out in front. That's going to bring up the pitcher, J.J. Breaker, who grounded to second in his first appearance. And a ground ball to third, picked up by Vance, throw over to first, and they got him. Kapanke had to do a little two-step there at first base, but he made the play. 2 down. It's going to bring up Cole Stenson. He has the only hit so far today for the Athletics. He doubled his last time up to center field. Costley delivers. It's a little low for a ball. Here's the pitch. High pop foul. Look out, Cassie. Just off the bleachers, just off to our side. I tell you, those balls are aiming for us this year. Yeah, Cassie, shake your camera if you're still all right up there. There, she says it wasn't close. Lucas Costley looking in, and the 1-1 pitch. That one just missed outside. 2 balls and a strike. Costley delivers. That's low. Evidently it was a 3-1 pitch because that's ball 4. That brings up Nolan Taylor, who walked his last appearance. 2 down, runner on first. Costley looking in. Throw over to first. Ball got away from Kapanke, but backed up nicely by Erickson. So no damage done as Stenson got back in safely. He takes his lead. Costley delivers outside for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Costley steps off. And the umpires are having a discussion that there was possibly a balk. And they're having a discussion about it, and they're sending him down to second. They're saying it's a balk, and Ryan Bemnister is going to go out and have a talk with him. And Ryan is saying that can't be a balk because the batter wasn't in the box, according to Ryan. And they're having a very civil but lengthy discussion about this. They're gonna say it's a balk.
Yeah, I'm not for sure what he did. If it was just the batter at the plate.
So Taylor steps back in. 2-0 is the count. Stenson takes a pretty big lead. Pitches in the dirt and blocked off the chest protector. Nice goalie move that time by O'Reilly.
Yeah, good job to hold that runner at second.
Kept the puck from going between the pipes.
That's a bad feeling when it goes through.
And a foul ball. And
look out, Cass.
There you go, Lucas. Great fastballs. Let's go, bud.
Made Cassie duck again. Three balls, 1 strike. And the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2.
Yeah,
2 down.
Let's see if Costley comes back with a fastball here.
And the payoff pitch. That was in the dirt, and it should be ball 4.
Hey, Jesse. Hey, blue time. I'm going to go talk to my dude.
And They're going to have a discussion. I think this was ball 4. And they're both sides. Ryan Bemnister's doing a trip to the mound to talk to his pitcher a little bit. Because we have a runner on third on the wild pitch. So the count should be 3-2. Three and 2 to Nolan Taylor.
Nice throw.
It's one of the most confusing at-bats I've seen in a long time. Here's the pitch. Fouled out of play.
See if he throws that changeup now. That's 3 fastballs in a row.
Count is still full. And the payoff pitch. Fly ball out into right field, and making the catch is Gabe O'Brien. So the Athletics threaten but get nothing. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We've completed 4, and it's the Cavaliers 1 and the Athletics nothing on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
The roar of our engines, the pump of our heartbeats, the pedal to our metal. The sparks that ignite us, the pistons that push us, the passions that drive us, on the roads that unite us. Napa has America's largest network of parts and care, here to be the fuel that keeps you firing on all cylinders.
Visit either of Eau Claire's 2 locally owned Napa Auto Parts stores on Highway 93 or North Claremont Avenue.
Getting ready to head into the top of the 5th inning, due up for the Cavaliers. We have Gabe O'Brien, Cooper Kapanke, and Xavier Bemnister due up. You know, Dan, what I haven't seen in quite a while for the Cavaliers is back-to-back home runs. And these are the 2 guys that can do it.
And this is the field to do it at.
And it is the field to do that on. Of course, a year ago, Cooper told me he wasn't swinging for the fence anymore. He wants base hits.
Just singles, man.
Just singles, he says. Okay.
Yeah, just get runners on.
So Gabe O'Brien steps up. Cavs on top, 1-0. J.J. Breaker goes into his motion and delivers. Strike called, curveball. No balls and 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Ground ball through the hole at second. And O'Brien gets through on an infield hit, or single to right, I should say.
Yeah, Nolan Taylor thought I was going to go get a bounce right in his glove, and it just did like a little short hop right underneath.
So, O'Brien at first. Cooper Kapanke grounded into a 1-4-3 double play his last time up. And the pitch. Strike called at the knees. That was a fastball at the knees, and his knees are my belt-high fastball. He's got high knees. And the pitch is in the dirt for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Taking a peek over, and O'Brien goes. Kapanke lines a shot out into left field. O'Brien round second. He's heading for third. He's in safely.
Got underneath it. That was a close one. Good job to get down.
So Kapanke gets a base hit to center field. And it moves O'Brien over to third. Cavs have runners on the corners with Xavier Bemnister. He had an RBI single his last time up. He's 1 for 2 on the day. And the pitch. Line shot out into center field. That's going to fall in to right field. One runs in. Kapanke checks in at third, and Xavier Bemnister with a double to right field. And that's his second RBI of the game.
Hit him where there ain't.
Hey, exactly. It brings up our Geno's player of the game, and we're going to have a conference at the mound. Let's see if they're going to make any changes here. We're in the fifth with nobody out.
Guys just left a couple right over the middle of the plate. And Cavs took advantage.
And just a defensive discussion. J.J. Breaker staying in. 3 straight hits by the Cavs. Our Geno's player of the game, Connor O'Reilly. Don't forget to get your free soft drink tomorrow out at Geno's Pizza. And the pitch is in the dirt. Cavs have a little something going here in the 5th inning. Maybe Connor can find his way around and score. Turn that soft drink into an appetizer. Breaker looking at second and delivers. Strike called. Just caught the outside edge. Jackson Vance on deck. Breaker delivers. Ground ball through the hole into left field. Kapanke comes in to score, and moving over to third is Bemnister. So an RBI single by Connor O'Reilly.
We're going to have a base runner for Connor.
And we do have a courtesy runner coming in for Connor. And that's Jack Redwine. Now, that also means that if Redwine comes in to score, that's good enough for our Geno's player of the game.
Yeah, I'll see if they send Redwine.
Here's the pitch.
There you go.
And Redwine heads down to second, and he's safe. Run comes in to score. They threw it to second, and they did not handle it very well. So Redwine gets credit for a stolen base, and in to score is Bemnister. And the pitch is inside for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike is the count. 1-1. Line shot, foul, just foul down the left field line. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Scoreboard not keeping up on the balls and strikes real well. Four consecutive hits by the Cavaliers.
Yeah, and there's still a big gap on the left field line.
Nobody down. Redwine at second. Jackson Vance at the plate. And the pitch is low for a ball. Counts even at 2-2. Ben Boda on deck. probably believes me now when I said that those hits were going to start falling in. Foul back off the catcher. Count holds at 2-2. And the pitch, outside, count goes full. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Jackson Vance.
No action.
One single his first time up. Fielder's choice his second time up.
No action in the Athletics bullpen.
And the pitch, ground ball right back up the middle. Scooped there by the shortstop. He can't make the play, and it's going to be an error on Rosemeyer. Tried to scoop it and make the throw to first, and he can't do it. And that puts Redwine at third. Cavs have runners on the corners. Nobody out. Brings up Ben Boda, who doubled his last time up. And we're going to have a pinch runner for Jackson Vance.
Number 12.
Tyson Woodcock is coming in to run. Redwine on third. Woodcock on first. 3 runs in this inning for the Cavaliers. Dan, it's been a while since the Cavs have put together a 3-run inning. Crooked numbers are good things for the Cavs.
Yeah, they're finding that green grass. Left field's wide open.
Breaker pitches, and it's a strike mid-thigh. Throw over to first. Woodcock in. Close play that time.
Yeah, see if they can move him over and bring Redwine home here.
Pitch to Boda. Strike 2 at the knees. No balls, 2 strikes. Luke Erickson on deck. Throw over to first, and now they've got him picked off. And he's in safely at second, coming in to score. Safe! At the plate is Redwine. Hey, folks, you know what that means. You get free appetizers at Gino's Pizza. Courtesy of Connor O'Reilly and Jack Redwine. Maybe we'll just say that's Connor Redwine. And the pitch. Pop up it out into right field. Coming under it is Stenson Vienendahl. He makes the catch. So that's the first out of the inning. Cavs have a runner on second. And brings up Luke Erickson. He was hit by a pitch the first time up and then fouled out to Cody Breaker over here right about the first base coach's box. Here's the pitch. Check swing ball outside. One ball, no strikes. And the pitch. High pop up and heading back towards second. Throw back, and they doubled off Woodcock. So for the Cavaliers, in the top of the 5th inning, 4 runs on 4 hits. There was 1 error and 1 left on base. We've played 4.5, and it's the Cavaliers 5 and the Athletics nothing on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax has just what you need when you have that craving for a home-cooked meal the way Mom used to make it. Mom's is open from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. daily and until 9 on Fridays with a complete breakfast menu. Lunch includes sandwiches, salads, wraps, and burgers, along with Mom's comfort food favorites, and don't forget dinner on Fridays with Mom's famous fish fry. The coffee always hot, the breakfast always delicious, and lunch puts a smile on your face. 225 Bremer Avenue, Colfax. Call 715-962-4617. That's Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax.
The Eau Claire Cavaliers would like to take veterans out to the ball game. That's right. As a thank you for your service, any veteran of the United States military can receive a lifetime pass for free admission to all Cavalier home games. Just come to Carson Park with your veteran identification, and the Cavaliers will issue you a free lifetime pass to all Cavalier home games. That's just the Cavaliers' way of saying thank you for your service.
Back here at Jan Krueger Field. Leading off the bottom of the 5th inning is Ashton Oliver, who flew out to center field his last time up. Ground ball over to second. Erickson fires over to first, and no, they're saying he beat it. They're saying he beat it, and the Cavalier bullpen does not like that call at all. That's going to be an infield hit for Ashton Oliver. Defensive changes for the Cavaliers. Cooper Kapanke moves over to play third base, and staying in the game and playing first base now is Tyson Woodcock. Coming in for Jackson Vance. Throw over to first, and back safely is Oliver. Here's the pitch. Bunted down right back to the mound. Throw over to first. They got him.
Nice work, nice work.
Sacrifice bunt. It moved Oliver over to second. Back to the top of the order, Logan Brown, who struck out twice. With 1 out. There's the pitch. Ground ball to third. Kapanke with the play. Throw over to first, and got it in time. 2 down. That's going to bring up Ryan Stunkel. Stunkel's 0 for 2. Grounded to third and flew out to center field. Stunkel Costley delivers to Stunkel. Had my players mixed up, or my mirrors plixed up. Here's the 0-1 pitch, grounded over to short, picked up by Boda, throw over to first, and they got him. So, for the Athletics in the 5th, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We've played 5, and it's the Cavaliers 5 and the Augusta Athletics nothing on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
The Eau Claire Cavaliers would like to take veterans out to the ball game. That's right. As a thank you for your service, Any veteran of the United States military can receive a lifetime pass for free admission to all Cavalier home games. Just come to Carson Park with your veteran identification, and the Cavaliers will issue you a free lifetime pass to all Cavalier home games. That's just the Cavaliers' way of saying thank you for your service.
Regardless of where you are on your path to retirement, you can still take charge of your financial future today. Visit aceyourretirement.org and answer a few questions from Aldo, your friendly digital retirement coach, for free tips, resources, and advice customized for your situation to help you feel confident and prepared for retirement. Retirement looks different for everyone. Make sure you're prepared for your financial future at aceyourretirement.org.
My name is Teresa Barber. I was in the United States Navy and I served overseas in the Middle East and Africa. Early on in my career, I had a commander that taught our suicide prevention training on a Friday afternoon, and the very next day he took his own life. 90% of suicide attempts involving a gun are fatal. You don't know how much somebody can hide what's going on inside their head. Store your guns securely. Help stop suicide.
Now on the mound for the Augusta Athletics is Ashton Oliver. And up for the Cavaliers at the top of the order, Caden Erickson. Pitches outside. So J.J. Breaker went 5 innings, gave up 5 runs. They were all earned. On 9 hits, he only struck out 1. Here's the pitch. It's high. Ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Here's the pitch. Line shot. Foul down the first base line.
Just under his glove.
It was right down in the one area we can't see very well because of the fencing. So it's 2 balls and 1 strike. An update on that game between the Osseo Merchants and the Beef River Bullfrogs. After 3 innings, it's Osseo 3 and Beef River nothing. Here's the wind and the pitch. Strike called at the letters. Counts even at 2-2. Caden Erickson 0 for 3, flew out twice to left field, got on an error his first time up. Here's the wind and the pitch. Ground ball to third, can't handle it. Throw over to first, and they can't handle it there either. And I think the error is actually going to go to the first baseman because I think they would have had him had the first baseman held on. Brings up Campbell Kapanke, who's 2 for 3. Singled twice, scored a run, and then lined out to the shortstop on his last trip to the plate. So runner at first. And the pitch gets past the catcher, and down to second goes Erickson on the wild pitch. One ball, no strikes. Nobody out. Here's the pitch, swinging and a miss. Counts even at 1-1. Kind of chased one down low that time.
Yeah, trying to get that little punch out into the outfield.
Oliver delivers.
Big gap.
Called strike on the outside edge.
Big gap between left and center.
Aiden Rosemeyer now playing out in left field for the Athletics. And the pitch. Fly ball out into left center field. Rosemeyer moves over. He's under it. He makes the catch. That's going to bring up Gabe O'Brien. O'Brien is 1 for 2. He singled and scored his last time up. He's also flew out to center field and drew a walk. Oliver delivers. That's low for a ball. Oliver, a left-handed pitcher, so it's a little different view for the Cavaliers now. Oliver delivers. That one's low for a ball. 2-0 is the count. Oliver at the belt. He delivers. Strike called at the belt. O'Brien pretty much taking all the way on that. Wanted to make sure Oliver could throw a strike first. Especially the first time you face a pitcher, you want to see what one looks like from that pitcher. That one's high, ball 3.
Yeah, because the ball is actually doing the opposite spin.
Yeah, it's doing something totally opposite of what you were looking at before. Hitter's pitch here, the 3-1 pitch. That's down in the dirt, ball 4. And Gabe O'Brien draws his second walk of the night. Cooper Kapanke singled and scored a run his last time up.
Hey, Rick.
Hey, what?
Happy summer solstice.
That's right. In fact, Ann's daughter has her birthday today. My daughter-in-law, Heather, has her birthday today, too. They needed that extra time to get born. That's what it was.
Is that it?
To get born during daylight. Strike called at the letters. Ann says that statistically, the summer solstice has more births than any other day of the year.
Huh.
Pitch is high and in. Of course, that makes me wonder how many of you are doing the math right now. You know, those rainy days of October. Here's the pitch. That was inside for a ball. 2 balls and a strike to Cooper Kapanke. And the pitch. Strike called at the knees. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3. That brings up Xavier Bemnister, who's 2 for 3 tonight. Popped to short, but then he got an RBI single and an RBI double. Here's the pitch. Strike called. Mid-thigh. Two runners on. Erickson takes his lead at second, pitches outside for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. O'Brien at first. Two down. We're in the top of the 6th inning. And the pitch to Bemnister is at the letters for a called strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down, 2 on. Deuces are wild. Here's the pitch. Inside.
Can't find it.
And he doesn't know where the ball is. And the runners advance.
Yeah, good job. Good job by the Cavs to be alert.
See what happens when you don't do your job? All right, the count is 2-2. Oliver's 2-2 pitch. Ground ball down the third base line. Picked up there, throw over to first, and they got him. Bemnister grounds to third, and the inning. Cavaliers get no runs on no hits. There was one error, and 2 were left on base. We've completed 5.5, and it's the Cavaliers 5 and the Athletics nothing. You're tuned to Cavalier Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Ready for a better way to bank? Switch to Royal Credit Union. Royal Credit Union is a financial co-op, not a corporation, so we return earnings to our members. That means you get low or no fees for account services and better rates on deposits and loans. You'll also have all the digital tools you need at your fingertips, so managing your account is easy. Royal is ready to help you discover the credit union difference. Switch to Royal Credit Union today at rcu.org/difference. Insured by NCUA.
And we're back here at Jan Krueger Memorial Field. Nice little ballpark here in Augusta. And just reminded me, really good dogs. And they had mighty good looking brats here too. Very nice concession stand here. Very good looking infield. They've recently remodeled this ballpark with new dugouts and a nice infield. They have a covered seating area behind home plate. It's almost kind of like a picnic area. A lot of people bring their lawn chairs and line up behind home plate. There's some bleachers. So it's a nice place to come and watch some town ball baseball. And we've got a good one going tonight. Cavaliers on top 5-0. Due up for the Augusta Athletics will be Noah Gillingham, Jacob Rosemeyer, and then Aiden Rosemeyer. Lucas Costley getting ready to start his 6th inning. Ryan Bemnister having some fun with us as he walks by. Sounded like he sprung a leak there for a second.
Just a little bit. There was a leak of runs.
Costley delivers his first pitch. Strike called. And Gillingham didn't like that call very much, but it looked pretty good from here. We can't see in and out real well, but I know how Costley plays with that edge, and I'm betting that was a good pitch. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to third. Kapanke takes it, throws over to first in time. That's going to bring up Jacob Rosemeyer, the shortstop. 0 for 2. Flew out to center field and struck out his last time up. Here's the pitch. It's high for a ball. And the pitch. Strike called on the outside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike to Jacob Rosemeyer. That's Jacob with a K. And the pitch, swing and foul tipped into the glove. 1-2 is the count.
See if he comes back with a fastball.
Costley looking in for the sign, and he delivers.
Oh,
curveball outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 out. And the pitch. That's high, and the count goes full to Rosemeyer. We've had 3 straight ground balls to the left side of the infield. Here's the pitch. Foul ball back to the screen. Count holds at 3-2. Costley delivers. Line shot out into right field for a base hit. Picked up out there by O'Brien, and Rosemeyer checks in at first. So up steps Aiden Rosemeyer. Rosemeyer came in for pitcher J.J. Breaker in the batting order when Ashton Oliver moved to the mound. Here's the pitch. Outside for a ball.
Connor took it down first.
Yeah, bluff throw down to first by O'Reilly.
I don't think he'll go, though.
Looks like Jacob Rosemeyer's itching to try to take second. And the pitch to Aiden. Curveball, strike call, throw down to first. And Aiden's back, or Jacob's back safely. Rosemeyer's batting back-to-back are going to confuse me as much as the Kapankis do. And the pitch, foul back into the screen is 1-2.
What do you got for a count?
I've got 1-2. The umpires looked a little confused out there. And the pitch, fly ball out into center field or into right field. Check that, and caught by O'Brien. That's 2 down. Brings up Cole Stenson. Stenson doubled and then drew a walk. He advanced as far as third base. That's the furthest anybody has gotten for the Athletics. Costley delivers, swing and a miss, strike 1. Mighty swing that time by Stenson.
Yeah, he wanted that one over the fence.
He did. He was looking for that 317 mark down the left field line. Costley delivers. Short pop-up, and it falls in. Throw over to Costley at first for the out.
Yeah, good hustle by Costley. What? They're going to talk about this at first.
They may have a runner going out of the base path.
Maybe that's what it is, because Costley was there about 3 steps before the runner.
And they're going to rule him safe at first. And I'll be honest with you, I don't understand what they called, unless they're saying it was interference on Costley.
Maybe it was when he ran over that they're saying that he cut the runner off. That could be it. Okay.
That must be what it is. So we'll give it a error on Costley. Ground ball again to second, and Erickson can't handle it, and the runners are all safe. I don't think they would have had a base hit on that anyway. So we're going or an out on that anyway. I don't think Erickson would have had a chance to make the play. So we'll give him the infield hit. Bases are loaded. We have Jacob Rosemeyer at third, Cole Stenson at second, Nolan Taylor at first, Ashton Oliver, the pitcher, is at the plate. And Oliver is 1 for 2. He singled with an infield hit his last time up. And a fly ball out into center field. This is trouble. It gets out to the fence. 1 run's in. 2 runs are in. Here comes a 3rd run in. And into third. And the ball gets overthrown, but in safely with a triple.
Luke, I get time.
To right field with 3 RBI.
Yeah, that was a rocket shot out there.
And 3 runs in. Score is 5-3. Cavaliers on top. Ryan Bemnister wanted to call time and settle his team down. Those runs are all unearned, I'll have you know, because there were 2 outs when the error was made.
Rick, you want to mark that down? Crap hitting.
Ryan says we want to mark this one down as an inning that, let's put it this way, we'll clean it up a little bit. A cruddy inning. Costley at the belt. Pitch missed outside for a ball. 2 down, 3 runs in. Here's the pitch. And I'm not sure where that one missed.
Yeah, I don't. We can, like I said, we can't see left or right, but that was about belt
It was
high.
pretty close. Swing and a miss for strike 1. 2 balls and a strike with 2 down. Attempted bunt, and he did not make contact. That was going to be a safety squeeze there. And it's now 2 balls, 2 strikes.
See if you can blow one by him right here.
Stenson Vienendahl. Actually, this isn't Stenson Vienendahl at the plate either.
Number 20.
And he struck out. That was C.J. Haas at the plate. And he went down on strikes. So, 3 runs on 2 hits. There was 1 Cavalier error and 3 hits, and of those 3 runs, none of them were earned. So the score: Cavaliers 5 and the Athletics 3 on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
To get your lawn or garden to perform at attracting what you want, you first need to know what your soil is working with. That's where Midwest Environmental Consultants can help. Their soil testing service can give you a complete rundown on your soil's nutrition and health. They test for nitrogen levels, phosphorus, potash, micronutrients, minerals, pH, and organic matter. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants put you in control of your soil's health. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 608-468-2067. That's Midwest Environmental Consultants, serving Western Wisconsin.
Jason, let's go see your room.
That's not right. How was it? Is it good?
So leading off for the Cavaliers in the top of the 7th inning is Connor O'Reilly. Now Connor's our Geno's player of the game, and he already came through for us. Pitch is on the inside corner for a called strike. Because his last time up, he singled, and then his courtesy runner, Jack Redwine, eventually came around and scored. Pitch is low for a ball. So tomorrow when you go out to Geno's Pizza, mention Connor's name, and you'll get yourself a free appetizer for your table. Here's the pitch. Curveball strike. Oh, a big hanging bender that time. That would have been really tempting, I think.
Yeah, Connor was already leaning way out in front of that one.
And the pitch. Fastball, strike 3 called. That's the first called strikeout on the Cavaliers tonight, which is a big improvement over the last few games. Tyson Woodcock, he's in for Jackson Vance. Vance was 1 for 3. Woodcock ended up running for him. First pitch missed outside. 1 ball, no strikes. And the pitch is in the dirt. So, Dan, you were saying that play in the last half inning, they're actually saying the runner beat Costley to first?
Yeah. And I don't know, from this angle, it
wasn't even close. Oh, my. It still has to go in the book as an error on Costley.
Yeah, which started the big rally there by Augusta.
And strike called. 3 balls and 1 strike to Tyson Woodcock. Woodcock still looking for his first hit of the season. Grounds it out to third. Bare hands it, throws over to first, and they got him.
Yeah, it took a weird bounce when it got to him.
And it bounced over to his bare hand side, stuck a hand out there, and just threw it over to first. That's going to bring up Ben Boda. Boda is 1 for 3. He doubled to left. He also flew out to right and lined to short. So he's making good contact with the ball. Here's the pitch. Strike called, mid-thigh, fastball. 2 down. Cavs up by 2 in the 7th. And the pitch. High and away for a ball. Here's the wind and the pitch. That's high for a ball. Two balls and 1 strike with 2 down. And the 2-1 pitch. That's high, and it gets away from Stunkel behind the plate. 3-1's the count. Here's the wind and the pitch. Strike 3 called. Or strike 2 called. Thank you. So the count is full, and the payoff pitch. Fly ball out into left field. It's going to drift foul and out of play. He got the barrel on that one, just got around a little too much. That might have had the distance out there in left field had it stayed fair.
Yeah, he's so fast, he was almost halfway to second by the time that thing landed.
Ben Boda at the plate. And the payoff pitch. It's high ball 4. Boda draws a walk. Cavs have a runner on. Brings up Luke Erickson. He popped into an unfortunate double play his last time up. Woodcock had already taken off for third when he hit a high pop-up, and the shortstop caught it and was able to turn and double him off, double Woodcock off. First pitch was a called strike to Erickson. This is Luke Erickson. Throw over to first. And the Cavaliers want a balk called. And the pitch, ground ball foul down the first baseline. Oliver at the belt, and the pitch. Ground ball foul again down the first baseline, just barely foul. And that pitch misses. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 2 down, runner on first. Luke Erickson at the plate. Oliver looking in. Now he looks at first. And the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3. So for the Cavaliers, no runs on no hits. There were no errors and 1 left on base. We've completed 6.5. It's time for the 7th inning stretch. And you're tuned to Cavalier Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Hey guys, it's me, Isabella Gomez, filling in for Smokey Bear because he's got more to say than just...
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Like, if you're outside enjoying a barbecue, don't let a hamburger distract you from fire safety. Make sure you aren't dumping your hot coals or ashes onto the ground because that could start a wildfire. So take wildfire prevention seriously and let's save the world one day at a time. Juntos con Smokey Bear, podemos hacerlo. Go to smokeybear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
Back here at Jan Krueger Memorial Field. Rick Olson along with Dan Petchow, Ann Monroe on the computer, and Cassie Johnson Nelson is our angel above us, so to speak. She's running the camera from right up behind us. And a high pop-up in foul territory. Might have enough room. Not quite. It did fall in the field of play, but foul ball. You know, the problem on Sunday was, Dan, there were too many of those really high pop-ups, and that's what brought the rain.
Yeah.
Rained out that doubleheader. Logan Brown, 0-1's the count. Gosley delivers, and a foul ball at the plate. Bounced right back up and hit Brown while he was still in the box. No balls, 2 strikes.
Dad, bring the change up right here.
Here's the wind and the pitch. Just a little low. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. High pop foul, back behind the plate, out of play. Kind of off in the direction where we're parked, Dan.
They're getting closer.
I thought we might be safe over there, but evidently not. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ground ball over to third. Kapanke scoops it, throws over to first in the dirt, and he beat that one out. That's going to be an infield hit for Logan Brown.
Yeah, Coop way back on the grass and long throw.
That's going to bring up Ryan Stunkel, the catcher. He's 0 for 3. He grounded to third, flew out to center, and grounded to short. And the first pitch is high for a ball. Logan Brown on first. Stunkel represents the tying run. So we're in the bottom of the 7th. Costley delivers. Strike called at the knees. 1 ball, 1 strike. And the pitch. Check swing, strike called. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Costley looking in. Peek over his shoulder at first. And the 1-2 pitch. Oh, inside for a ball.
Try to get him to chase that inside. He held off.
That was pretty darn close, too. And the pitch. High fastball, swung on and fouled back. Count holds it 2-2. Costley throws over to first, and back in time is Logan Brown. Cooper Kapanke at third, Ben Boda at short, Caden Erickson at second. Swung on him, foul back out of play, or into the chest protector of Connor O'Reilly, and then I think it went off the umpire's chest protector or face mask, one of the two. Count holds at 2-2. Tyson Woodcock is at first. Connor O'Reilly behind the plate.
It's got to be a tough job playing umpire and catcher.
I think so. The one behind the plate especially. Hats off to Jesse France for even being willing to be in there. And a called third strike. That's going to bring up Noah Gillingham. 5th strikeout of the day for Costley. That's the first one that he caught him looking. Gillingham is a victim of one of those 5 strikeouts. He's also grounded to third and popped out to first. First pitch is high for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Costley peeks at first. And the pitch. Ground ball to second. Steps on second and throws it over to first. Nice play by Caden Erickson. 4 unassisted to 3 for the double play to end the inning. So, for the Athletics, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. We're going to head to the 8th with the score. Cavaliers 5
and the Augusta Athletics 3. You're tuned to Cavalier Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Let NLWN-2 and the Northern Light Webcasting Network bring you some tough semi-pro gridiron action. Our next broadcast will be on Saturday, June 24th, when we will bring you the Eau Claire Cowboys taking on the Midwestern Wildcats from Simpson Field on the UW Eau Claire campus. Live coverage on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and on NLWN-2 begins with Cowboy kickoff at 3:35 p.m. That's live Eau Claire Cowboy football on Saturday, June 24th on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-2.
And I hope you made note of that new starting line or starting time for Cowboy football. Our pregame will start at 2:30 because the kickoff is at 3. They've been moved up from 4 to 3 o'clock for the rest of the games at Simpson Field. And we found out why.
Why?
Because the UW Eau Claire Marching Band uses the field.
That's right.
And the marching band refused to yield. Do you recall what was the deal the day the music died? That's about as much Don McLean as I'm going to do.
Did you play any instruments?
Well, let's
In your
put it
lifetime?
this way. When I was in 5th and 6th grade and even 7th grade, I stuck a violin under my chin a little bit, but that was as far as it went. It was pretty screechy around our house during that time.
It was still music, though.
Well, in somebody's mind, that's my boy playing that. Ann's from Iowa. She knows what I'm referencing there. And the first pitch is high to Caden Erickson for ball 1. Erickson is 0 for 4. He's gotten on twice via error. And the pitch, high pop foul. I lost it. It went behind us.
It's getting that darkish look.
You know, we're looking through a really black chain link fence, and it's real easy to lose the ball through that. Here's the pitch. That one missed outside. 2 balls and a strike. Caden Erickson with a hot bat of late. 3 balls and a strike. Hitter's pitch coming up for Caden. On deck is Campbell Kapanke. Line shot. It's going to fall in for a base hit out in right center field. Caden Erickson checks in at second with a double. Now Campbell Kapanke comes up. He's 2 for 4. Pair of singles, scored a run, lined to short, and flew out to left.
Go to Seb, big dog. Come on, guys. Get the side. It's only 20.
So Caden Erickson out at second. And the first pitch to Campbell is high. Gabe O'Brien on deck. Oliver at the belt, and he delivers. That's outside. 2 balls. No strikes. And the pitch is outside. And a strike called. 3 balls and 1 strike. Cam Kapanke
looking for his third hit of the night. Pitch is low, gets away from the catcher. Over to third is Erickson as Kapanke draws the walk. So, Cavs have runners on the corners, and we're getting a trip to the mound. We'll see if he's just talking about how they want to defense the runners at the corners. Yeah, they could be exchanging recipes. So they've got it figured out, at least so they think, as the conference breaks up. I think they have some kind of a play set up here because Stengel took a long look over at first. Or Stunkel.
Yeah, they got to hold the runner at third. So I wouldn't think they'd throw it down to second, but I assume Cavs will send them.
And the Cavs go and they throw the ball away and in comes the run. That's going to be an error on the pitcher, and into third is Campbell Kapanke. So it's going to be an error on the pitcher.
Yeah, Augusta had him.
Well, he was going to get in a rundown.
Right, a rundown.
And score the run, or try to anyway. Pitch is high to Gabe O'Brien. That does go in the book as an unearned run because he scored on the air. Ground ball towards first. Picked up there, toss over to Oliver. And they called O'Brien out. That was Breaker tossing it to Oliver, who was covering at first.
Yeah, Oliver didn't get a very quick jump towards first.
It was actually a closer play than I thought it would be. That's why I was so slow at making the call. We've seen close ones like that before. Cooper Kapanke at the plate. He's 1 for 4 today. Singled and scored a run. And a strike called. Campbell Kapanke on third. 1 out. Swing and a miss. High pop foul out of play down the first base side. After 6 innings, it's the Osseo Merchants leading the Beef River Bullfrogs 6-0. And the pitch. Hard shot foul down the third base side. Cooper almost took out his brother Campbell on that one. I guess that's brotherly love, right?
Yeah. Something funny, like a broken bat, but it does, but it's not.
And the pitch, check swing, strike called, and Cooper can't believe that. He's got a couple words for the umpire about that one. So Xavier Bemnister has 2 RBI hits. One was a single, one was a double. He's also scored. Good night for Xavier tonight. He's 2 for 4. And the pitch inside for a ball. Cavs with 1 run in, 2 outs. And the pitch. It's outside, ball 2.
That's right.
And the pitch. Fly ball foul down the left field line. Out of play. And the pitch. That one just missed. 2 balls and a strike. And that one's low. Evidently that was 3 balls and a strike. So Bemnister draws a walk. So the Cavs have runners on the corners. Campbell Kapanke is over on third. Xavier Bemnister on first. Our Geno's player of the game, who's already earned you a free appetizer at Geno's. Tomorrow, just mention his name, Connor O'Reilly. He, along with Jack Redwine, got you the appetizer. And the throw over to first. Back in safely is Bemnister. And the pitch. Runner goes, throw down to second, and they can't handle the throw, and in to score is Campbell Kapanke. Bemnister gets credit with a stolen base. And the pitch. It's called strike. It's a ball and a strike to Connor O'Reilly. Here's the pitch. Ground ball foul, they're calling it. Must have gone off O'Reilly's foot or something, because it came out of there in fair territory.
Yeah.
Unless it hit the edge of the plate. Ann saying, yeah, she thought it hit the plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Connor O'Reilly. Runner at second. Foul back out of play. Count holds at 1 and 2.
Set the car alarm off, the foul ball.
I don't think it was mine.
I think you're down a little farther.
I think so. And the throw over. Dan, is he stepping off the rubber when he makes that?
He did that time. Yes, he did. I was watching.
Pitch is low for a ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, because he's got to spin 180 to his right. It's tough move.
And then throw across his body. Bemnister back in safely at second. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3. So O'Reilly goes down swinging, and the 8th inning is over for the Cavaliers. They do pick up 2 runs on 1 hit. There was 1 error and 1 left on base. So we've completed 7 1/2, and it's the Cavaliers 7,
and the Augusta Athletics 3. You're tuned to Cavalier Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
When you look at the number of disasters in the U.S., chances are every area will deal with some kind of emergency in the next decade. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Hey, can you chop the pineapple? Chop the pineapple.
Nope. I'm high. How about I wash off the grapes?
Yes.
Okay. You're already making good decisions when you're high.
I want tacos. Will you drive? I'm a little toasty.
Nope. I'm high. Let's order in. Don't make an exception when it comes to driving. If you feel different, you drive different.
If I could be you, and you could be me for just 1 hour. If we could find a way to get inside each other's minds. Walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes. Well, before you abuse, criticize, and accuse. Walk a mile in my shoes.
Back here in Augusta, as we head to the bottom of the 8th inning, Cavs up on top by a score of 7-3.
It's like Lucas Cosley is going to go the distance.
He's going to try. Due up for the Athletics are Jake Rosemeyer, Aiden Rosemeyer, and Cole Stenson. Jake Rosemeyer singled his last time up and eventually scored. And the first pitch is a called strike. Doesn't look like Cosley's lost any velocity off his pitch.
Yeah, that's a good pitch to start with. Get ahead of the batter.
And a ground ball over to second. Erickson picks it up, flips it over to first in time. One down. Brings up Aiden Rosemeyer. He flew out to left, or excuse me, to the right his last time up.
And for just the number 23, Aiden Rosemeyer.
Here's the pitch. Foul ball out of play. No balls, one strike. And the pitch. Ground ball over to short. Boda picks it up, throws it over to first, and they got him. That's going to bring up Cole Stenson. Cosley looking into the dugout for some guidance. Stenson steps up. He got on an error that was charged to Cosley on a fairly controversial play. Foul ball back to the screen. No balls and a strike. And the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike two. Last time Stenson was up, he had a ground ball to the first base side, and they flipped to Cosley covering. They say that he beat the throw. That's not quite the way Dan and I saw it. Nor did the Cavalier dugout see it that way. Here's the pitch.
Fly ball out into left field. Backing up, and Campbell Kapanke makes the out. So, 1-2-3 inning in the bottom of the 8th for the Athletics. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. We've completed 8. We head to the 9th with the Cavaliers on top, 7-3 on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Let NLWN-TV and the Northern Light Webcasting Network take you out to the ballgame. Our next broadcast will be on Sunday, June 25th, when we will bring you the Cavaliers taking on the Augusta Athletics from Carson Park. Live coverage on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and on NLWN-TV begins with the In the Dugout show at 5:30 p.m. That's live Eau Claire Cavalier baseball on Sunday, June 25th on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Back here at Jan Krueger Memorial Field in Augusta, as the Cavaliers come to bat in the top of the 9th. And we have another score from Osseo where, actually it's from Strum, where the Osseo Merchants are ahead of the Beef River Bullfrogs 7-1. Cavs are ahead in this one 7-3. And stepping to the plate for the Cavaliers is Tyson Woodcock. Grounded to third his last time up. And it's a called strike.
He likes those high.
He does give that high strike. And the one thing we can see real clearly here is high-low, and that was about Adam's apple high. And there's one that was belt level.
Yeah, good pitch there.
No balls, 2 strikes to Tyson Woodcock. Now it's time to do what they used to call choke and poke. Choke up on the bat a little bit and just put the bat on the ball. Outside for a ball. One and 2 is the count. Oliver winds and the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3. That's going to bring up Ben Boda. Boda's 1 for 3 tonight. He doubled. He also lined to short, flew out to right, and drew a walk. And the pitch inside. That almost got him. Oliver looking in, he winds and fires. Strike called at the knees. 1 ball, 1 strike. The 1-1 pitch. That's high for a ball. Two balls, 1 strike. And another one high. 3-1 is the count. Ben Bodo worked his way into a hitter's pitch now. 1 out. And the pitch. Strike called. He thought it was a little outside. So the count is full. And the payoff pitch. Fly ball out into center field. Could find the gap. Diving and not making the play.
Yeah, good for out in center field.
It was a good hustle, but I think it's going to go as a hit. It's a base hit for Ben Boda to center field because it was a diving stab at it and just couldn't quite come up with it. Logan Brown made that attempt. Luke Erickson at the plate. 0 for 3. Struck out his last time up. Pitch is high for a ball. One out. Here's the pitch. That's low for a ball. Caden Erickson on deck, who doubled his last time up. And the pitch. Strike called. 1 ball and 1 strike. Or 2 balls and 1 strike. That's what I get for looking at the scoreboard out there in center field. I should be looking at what Ann is putting up on the scorebug. She's on top of it here. Pitch is outside. 3-1 is the count.
Don't get on me,
And the 3-1 pitch. That's low for ball 4. So Luke Erickson draws a walk. Runners at first and second with 1 out. Caden Erickson, he's 1 for 5, but he's gotten on base 3 of those 5 trips. Got out on an error by the shortstop, an error by the first baseman, and then he doubled to right field. He also scored. Strike called over the outside corner. No balls and a strike. And the pitch. Pop foul back out of play. The way the crowd oohed, I think that just missed a car. No balls and 2 strikes. To Caden Erickson. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Two down. And that's going to bring up Campbell Kapanke. Two runners on. And the pitch. It's high for a ball. Ashton Oliver came in after the 5th inning. It's been fairly effective. Strike called at the letters. And the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Campbell Kapanke is 2 for 4 today. Singled twice, scored a run, scored twice. Drew a walk. Swing and a miss for strike 3. So that'll do it for the Cavaliers in the 9th. They pick up no runs on 1 hit, no errors, 2 were left on base. We've completed 8.5, and it's the Cavaliers 7 and the Athletics 3. You're tuned to Cavalier Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
The Eau Claire Cavaliers would like to take veterans out to the ball game. That's right. As a thank you for your service, any veteran of the United States military can receive a lifetime pass for free admission to all Cavalier home games. Just come to Carson Park with your veteran identification, and the Cavaliers will issue you a free lifetime pass to all Cavalier home games. That's just the Cavaliers' way of saying thank you for your service.
So, Dan, it looks like Lucas Cosley is going to try to throw a complete game as he heads into the 9th inning.
Yeah, his arm has looked like it held up tonight pretty good. Saw some good fastballs in the 8th. 3 outs to go.
And leading off is Nolan Taylor. And it's a called strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. There's the pitch. Two balls and a strike, and here's the pitch. That one's in the dirt. 3-1.
A lot of break on that curveball.
Three balls, 1 strike to Nolan Taylor. And that one's high for ball 4.
In the zone. In the zone.
Batting for the Athletics, #1, Ashton Oliver.
So that's going to bring up the pitcher, Ashton Oliver. Oliver is 2 for 3 tonight. He singled and then tripled to drive in 3 runs. It was a bases clearing triple. Here's the pitch. Strike called. Cosley looks over at first. And the 0-1 pitch. Strike 2 called. Nobody out, runner on first. That's Nolan Taylor on first. Cavs up by 4. Cosley delivers, ground ball, back to Cosley at first. Throw over to second for 1, throw to first, not in time. So, Oliver grounds into a fielder's choice. So, Taylor's out at second, and that leaves Oliver at first with 1 out, and C.J. Haas.
Re-entry for the batter right now, re-entry.
And I guess we're going to have Chase Stenson Vienendahl back in on a re-entry. Pitch is high. pitch. Strike called. 1 ball and 1 strike. Costley just rearing back. We've seen Lucas Costley in these situations, and he can throw some very nasty stuff. Swing and a miss. He pulled the string on that one.
Yeah, he's got definitely 3 pitches in his arsenal.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Costley at the belt. Glances at first. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Throw it on to second. And he's in under the tag. But a strikeout of Chase Stenson Vienendahl. So there's 2 down in the bottom of the 9th. Takes us back to the top of the order, and it's all up to Logan Brown. Brown is 1 for 4. An infield hit to third his last time up, where Cooper was playing it a little ways back. He's also struck out twice. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. I'm not sure if he was trying to get out of the way of that pitch and took the bat across the plate.
He's kind of in his motion and then had a duck.
No balls and a strike. Here's the pitch. Ground ball, foul down the third base line. No balls, 2 strikes. Athletics down to their final strike. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3, but it got away from the catcher. Throw down to first. They got him for the final out of the inning. So the Cavaliers come away victorious because Augusta got no runs on no hits. There were no errors and 1 man left on base. Final score in this one, Cavaliers 7 and the Augusta Athletics 3. And we'll be back with all the summaries and everything right after this timeout on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
You've been watching NLWN-TV's presentation of Eau Claire Cavalier Baseball live on the Northern Light Webcasting Network. Stay tuned. Coming up next is Talkin' Baseball, with a look back at today's game. Time now for Talkin' Baseball, with a wrap-up of today's Eau Claire Cavalier baseball game, presented by Mama Squirrels Cleaning and more. And now, back out to the ballpark.
And we're back here in Augusta at Jan Krueger Memorial Field. And the Cavaliers come away with a very much needed impressive victory over the Augusta Athletics, scrappy Augusta Athletics team. They're much better than what their record shows, and the Cavaliers came out on top by a score of 7-3. The winning pitcher going the distance tonight was Lucas Costley. His record will go to 4-0. He went 9 innings. Gave up 3 runs, but none of those runs were earned. He gave up 6 hits, struck out 8, and walked 4. So it's a pretty darn good outing for Lucas Costley. Losing pitcher was J.J. Breaker, who went 5 innings. He gave up 5 runs, and they were all earned on 9 hits. He only struck out 1. Ashton Oliver, got to give him some credit. He came in and threw pretty well in the final 4 innings. He gave up 2 runs, but neither of those were earned on 2 hits, struck out 8 Cavaliers in those 4 innings, and walked 4. So hats off to Ashton Oliver. He came in and basically stopped the leaking and kept the
Athletics in the game. For the Cavaliers, though, the nice thing that I see about the Cavaliers here is they picked up 11 hits in that game, which is a huge improvement over the past few games. Dan?
Yeah, I thought that the bats came alive tonight. You know, they had just the one bad inning, and which was controversial in its own right. But
you're so politically correct, Dan.
But they stayed steady the rest of the 9 innings, and yeah, that's a good win.
Yeah, it was a really good win for the Cavaliers, and I'm waiting for manager Ryan Bemnister to come over, and we'll have a brief talk with him before we get things packed up and out of here, as it's quickly turning into past my bedtime. And so Ryan is, as we've said in the past, running for mayor. Lucas Costley has a big smile on his face as he picked up an impressive win tonight. And so we've got Ryan coming in here, and
I'm
hey,
tired. I need to sit down.
This is the medicine that will help make you better.
What, Miller Lite? Oh, you mean a win? Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Whew, I was confused there. I got over here. There's nothing on the table for me.
Yeah. No, they 7-3 win. You picked up 11 hits. That's a big improvement over things that have been happening. The only error that got charged to the Cavs was one that was, as shall we say, controversial, where they said the guy beat Costley to first.
Said he wasn't on the bag. When he got the ball into his glove, he wasn't on the bag, is what they called. So It wasn't a beat. It was a ball in glove while foot on base. Home plate umpire didn't get a good look at that part of it. We have video evidence showing that he was out.
Yeah.
And it's, you know what, one call really, honestly, isn't going to make or break a game and stuff. That kind of came off the rails a little bit there. But good teams hit. Augusta's a good team. The records don't mean anything in this league at all. So we just had to come back from that. Lucas buckled down after the big hit. That kid had a 3-run triple or whatever, and he buckled down after that, and I believe he didn't allow any more runs after that, so it was good.
No, he did not allow any more runs. He didn't. I shouldn't say that. I was almost going to say he didn't allow a hit, but the leadoff hitter of the next inning got an infield single. He scratched out an infield single. But other than that, he didn't allow anything. Lucas picked up 8 strikeouts, walked only 4. The 3 runs he gave up were unearned. Outstanding pitching job, going the distance. That's something your pitching staff needed, too, is to get a break in a game and not have to call anybody else in.
Yeah, and that was the thing with when Jackson got hurt earlier in the game, that kind of put us down one arm. With our plan that we had in place, and my plans blow up all the time, and you know that. So we're down to just a couple arms in the dugout, and that also didn't allow me to get Jack Redwine in the game like I wanted to, because if we had another injury sustained, I'm playing a pitcher in a position that is not a position player, so I had to be careful with that. So we had to make a couple of weird moves there, little mental things, and luckily we didn't have anything else bad happen the rest of the night, and everything turned out good for the Cavs today.
And you spread the hitting out. Caden Erickson picked up 1, but you got to hand it to Caden. One of the things that I noticed that Augusta does real well in some of their previous games, and the Cavs did it tonight, they found ways to get on base other than base hits. Caden Erickson got on 3 of his times to the plate. 2 of them were on errors, and that happens. Yes, the other team makes mistakes, but in Caden's case, it was a lot of hustle that forced that. And then he hit the double.
Yep, it was big. I mean, a leadoff batter getting on base for the lineup that we have behind that leadoff batter. We've had a couple of different ones this year. Caden seems to be settling into that position really nice. He gets on base a lot for us. And when you got those 2, 3, 4, 5 guys coming up behind him, you're kind of looking at Caden on base, we're scoring a run. Those bats are so good behind him right now that there's no doubt that between those other 4, they're going to start hitting. And then the bottom of the order started doing some good things tonight, getting on base, a couple of hits, couple of walks, things like that. We saw some really good approaches by a couple of guys. It was kind of nice to see.
Ben Boda had a 2-hit night. That was good to see him start to maybe turn some things around. And Connor O'Reilly, our Geno's player of the game. Hey, folks, go out to Geno's tomorrow because it's an appetizer for your table. And we do have a special situation when the catcher is the player of the game. His courtesy runner counts. And so when Jack Redwine came in and scored, it's appetizers at Geno's.
Jack said it right away. As soon as I got in the dugout after the inning he scored, I walked over to him. I said, "Good job out there." And he goes, "Hey, I had to score. I'm the Geno's player of the game." I'm like, "Way to know what you're doing, buddy."
So, and you spread the hits out. Xavier had a 2-hit night, including a double, and he picked up a couple of RBIs.
A couple stolen bases. I think Erickson had 2 stolen bases. Campbell had 1. Hobb had 2.
I don't keep real close
I wish
track.
you looked at that because we had guys running like crazy tonight.
Yes,
and
you
we
did.
talked about it tonight.
Yeah.
I looked at like 5 guys and I said, when you get on base, I don't even need to give you a sign. I want you getting on second base. We're gonna advance on all this stuff.
And the runners on the corners, you guys made that pay off, I think, 3 times.
Yeah, the boys are smart when it comes to that kind of stuff. We had a couple of early steals on it. We're willing to give an out up for a run when we're playing like we have been playing over the last week and a half. So it was really good to see them not just getting out for a run, but be smart on the base pass and that run still score.
And what happened, it appears to me, and I could be totally off base with this, baseball pun intended.
Nice job.
But when he took off early, and I want to say that was Cam, took off early for second base when Caden was on third, and he takes off early for second base, and the pitcher was so surprised he took off early, basically threw the ball away. He didn't throw it in the center field or anything, but he threw one that was really difficult for the second base to handle, and so all of a sudden we got a runner at second, and the run came in and scored. And
happened twice. Tyson Woodcock did it too. I can't remember who was on third, but same thing happened there. So
and that was a pretty big. That was your 4-run inning.
Yeah.
And Cavs haven't had one of those in a while, so it's kind of nice to see that happen too.
Pre-game, we said I want to put crooked numbers up on the board. I want at least 1 or 2 innings of crooked numbers. I'd like to have all innings crooked numbers, but we had 2 of them. That was nice, and that's all we needed.
And that's a big improvement over what had been happening recently, and so that's really nice to see. So a little bit of a break now until Sunday when you get these guys again.
Yep. We'll be seeing these same guys here. I know I was talking to the coach over there. They're missing 3 or 4 guys. A couple of them were pitchers, so probably see some new arms, a couple of new faces in the field. I mean, they played really good tonight, played really hard. It's a very nice facility out here. I'm very happy out here. It's good. So we're going to see their best on Sunday, like I always say, and we'll have to have our best.
This is what strikes me as a nice town ball field. It's a comfortable place to come and watch a game. They have a nice concession stand, good dugouts. It's a nice place to be, and it's been a lot of fun coming here, and they've been very hospitable, and so hats off to the Augusta Athletics organization.
Yeah, beautiful field. They resodded whatever they were talking about pregame stuff, and you can tell they're working on it. It's great. It's good to have them back in the CRBL, and it's a nice field to come play at.
Yeah, so if you get a chance to come down here to Augusta, come watch the Athletics play. They play pretty good ball. Their record doesn't show it, but they're
a solid team. Solid team.
They play some fun baseball, but Cavs had a little more fun tonight.
A little bit.
Congratulations on the 7-3 win, and we will have more talking baseball right after this timeout on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
My name is Teresa Barber. I was in the United States Navy, and I served overseas in the Middle East and Africa. Early on in my career, I had a commander that taught our suicide prevention training on a Friday afternoon, and the very next day, he took his own life. 90% of suicide attempts involving a gun are fatal. You don't know how much somebody can hide what's going on inside their head. Store your guns securely. Help stop suicide.
And we're back here at Jan Krueger Memorial Field here in Augusta. Nice little baseball facility. And Dan, your thoughts about the 7-3 win the Cavaliers pulled off?
Yeah, I think the Cavs, this is a game they needed to kind of get their minds back into it a little bit. And bats came alive. Good win for them tonight.
And you're absolutely right. The bats came alive. They hit throughout the lineup. And great pitching performance tonight by Lucas Costley. You know, statistically, people might yawn at this one. He went the distance. He gave up 6 hits, and, you know, he didn't strike out double digits, but he was solid throughout. And
and the defense of the Cavs was really good today.
Yeah, the only error tonight was that error that was called over at first base. And so, coming up on Sunday, you're going to be there Sunday?
Be there Sunday.
All right. Cavaliers taking on these same Augusta Athletics on Sunday, June 25th. Join us on the Northern Light Webcasting audio service. Let me try this again. Next, join us. Yes, I get a do-over. It's late. It's past my bedtime. Join us Sunday, June 25th on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and NLWN-TV as we bring you the Cavaliers taking on these same Augusta Athletics from Carson Park in Eau Claire. Coverage will start at 12 o'clock. That's not right. Coverage starts at 5:30. with the In the Dugout show, followed by all the play-by-play action. Also, join us on NLWN-2 for exciting Eau Claire Cowboy football. The next game will be on Saturday. That's the 24th, when the Cowboys host the Midwest Wildcats from Simpson Field at UW Eau Claire. Cowboy kickoff starts at 2:30 p.m. with live play-by-play action following. The Eau Claire Cavaliers want to remind veterans of the United States military that they can get a lifetime pass to all Cavalier home games like this coming Sunday, simply by coming to Carson Park with your veterans identification, and the Cavaliers will be happy to issue you your lifetime pass. It's just the Cavaliers' way of saying thank you for your service. The Geno's player of the game today was Connor O'Reilly, and since Connor was the catcher, once he gets on base, his courtesy runner counts. And that was Jack Redwine, and Jack did score today. And so when you go out to Geno's Pizza tomorrow, mention the player of the game and get a free appetizer because Jack Redwine was able to score. That's limit 1 per table. Today's Eau Claire Cavalier baseball game is brought to you by Geno's Pizza, right next to Atchison City, near the intersection of Highways 93 and I-94 on the south side of Eau Claire. Midwest Environmental Consultants, lawn care and soil testing experts for western Wisconsin. The Goat Coffee House at 336 Water Street for good coffee and great sandwiches. Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax, comfort food the way Mom used to make it. The Menominee Eye and Optical with quality personalized care for you and your family. Mama Squirrel's Cleaning and More. Get ready, or they're ready to get your house sparkling. And your Napa Auto Parts store at 3580 Mall Drive in Eau Claire. And don't forget Slayton's Technology Service, the official IT provider of the Northern Light Webcasting Network. Also Royal Credit Union, where they're different in a good way. Be sure to thank these fine sponsors for bringing you Eau Claire Cavalier Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. So for Dan Petchow and Ann Monroe and Cassie Johnson-Nelson, this is Rick Olson reminding you that our final score once again, Cavaliers 7 and the Augusta Athletics 3. You're tuned to Talkin' Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
You've been watching Talkin' Baseball, a wrap-up of today's Eau Claire Cavalier game. This has been a production of NLWN-TV.